Welcome to Sterling Visionary Voices, the podcast dedicated to bringing you diverse, innovative leadership insights and actionable strategies for success. Join hosts Laura McNeil and Bob Madeiros as they explore the art and science of role model leadership through thought-provoking conversations with real professionals. Whether you're a seasoned leader or aspiring to excellence, Sterling Visionary Voices is your guide to navigating the complexities of your leadership journey.
Hello, and welcome to Sterling Visionary Voices. I'm your host, Bob Madeiros, and it's my pleasure to introduce our guest today, Ms. Debra Shultz. Debra spent 35 years in quality and continuous improvement function within FPL. She's also the Chair Emeritus of the Sterling Council, but today we're speaking to her in her capacity as the co-chair of the Sterling Leadership Conference. Debra, welcome to Visionary Voices.
Thank you, Bob. I'm very excited to be here and to talk about this great conference.
Excellent. As I mentioned, today's topic is the 33rd Annual Sterling Leadership Conference, which is scheduled for May 27th through the 30th. So as co-chair of the conference, why don't you share a little with our listeners a little bit about that conference?
There is literally so much to share about this conference. I mean, we consider it really the premier experience for leadership development. And the conference is all about attending sessions. We have a lot of breakout sessions. We have some great keynote speakers. I'll talk about them in a moment. It's all about engagement and networking. You've got a few hundred of peers from all across the state talking about leadership. And the conference really is all about elevating leadership excellence and sustaining performance. And we literally have so much to offer everybody that attends. So I guess, first of all, I can talk about our keynote speakers. And you may or may not have heard of these folks, but you certainly should have if you know about leadership excellence. And one of them is a woman named Dr. Mary Chapman. And she is an executive vice president at Wellstar Health Systems in Georgia, because part of our conference is not just Florida, but it's also Georgia. And she's going to be talking about leadership, something called backseat driving. So I'm very curious to hear what that's going to be all about. But I know they're all focusing on leadership and how they excel in their own organizations to get results, to engage people, to have vision and excellence and customer satisfaction. So these are all experts in these fields. The other one is a very popular keynote speaker. We've had him before because he's an amazing, dynamic speaker. His name is Corey Godwin. And he's with the Florida Sheriff Association. And he's going to talk about interactive leadership. And he's very well known for his leadership skills and his strength in getting results and engagement and customer satisfaction. So we're super excited to have Corey there once again as one of our keynote speakers.
All right. Well, you mentioned before that you've got like a bunch of learning workshops. I think 40 plus high quality learning workshops. Tell me a little bit more about what we can expect with those. And I also heard something about certification tracks. What does that all mean?
Yeah, we have a few options where one of the most popular ones, and again, it is a leadership conference, is something called our Sterling Managing for Excellence certification. And then you can also get an advanced Managing for Excellence certification. If you take a certain amount of these sessions, I think they offer like about 10, you got to have like 6 of them, something like that. You can get this management certification and again, enhance your leadership development skills. And some of the topics are, of course, managing for excellence. We're going to talk about vision and values, and strategic planning is one of the sessions. Now that you got a strategic plan, what do you do with it? And how do you execute? And how do you implement? And how do you understand the important things you've got to do to have a good strategy? We're going to talk about vision and victory. One of them is called building value-based processes and driving results. So we talk a lot about value-based processes and what does that mean? And what's a process look like? And what are you looking for as far as results? I mean, results is the key to your success. So how do you go about it? How do you measure? What do you look for? What's some of the key things you need to focus on? So that'll be discussed. Sustaining excellence. How do you sustain? I mean, once you get to the top, if you think you're at the top, there's somebody right behind you always chasing you. So you can't just rest on your laurels. You got to keep moving, keep going, and keep developing yourself. And that's what this conference does. We also talk about leadership. How do you foster a good culture? And what does that look like? Analysis to gain understanding of organizational performance is another one of the sessions. Using results to tell your story. I mean, it's just endless. Operational efficiency. What does that look like? Enhancing the customer experience. And I could just go on and on. Driving engagement. There's just so much to look for. If you don't want to get a certification, there's all kinds of other sessions, and you'll be able to go on our website. And Bob, you'll probably tell about this website, but we cannot repeat enough, and that's www.thesterlingconference.com, where you can go on and see all the things we'll be doing. Something that's really fun. So we have our keynote speakers, and then we do breakout sessions. We have a lot of chances for networking in between there. We have an expo where you can meet other people that have actually practiced this. It's not a typical expo where they're selling things. Our expo is to highlight all of the great improvements and the continuous improvement and results that some companies have actually got. So it's a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot. And another thing we do that's super fun, I love this one, is called speed learning. And speed learning is exactly as it sounds. It's an hour-long session, and we have 3 15-minute topics. You get a lot in a very short amount of time. These 15 minutes are packed full of information by experts in, I think we have like 40 tables maybe.
Right.
And speed dating, where you go, you sit, you try to meet this person. Well, here you're learning a topic, and you get 15 minutes, and then we blow a whistle and you pick another topic. So 3 topics in 45 minutes, and they're so punched with information. And every session, not just speed learning, but every workshop, every session, you get what we call a tangible takeaway. And what that is you don't just go and listen. They're going to give you a product that will help you when you go back on the job. So again, we call it a tangible takeaway. And that's every session and every sitting in speed learning.
You know, you really sound passionate about the learning opportunities at this conference. What are some items that you feel really differentiate it from other leadership conferences out there?
I think it's the experience. The level of expertise we have at this conference is, I mean, I don't even think it's competitive with other conferences. We have some of the top-notch leaders in the state of Florida and Georgia, those companies that have used what we call our Sterling criteria. The leadership model we will show you is a very, not so rigid of a structure, but it shows you every piece of a leadership network that you need to have a successful organization. And we give out every year something called the Governor Sterling Award and the Georgia Oglethorpe Award. And you have a lot of the winning companies there sharing their best practices, showing you what they have done to succeed, and giving you that tangible takeaway. I've never been to a conference where you get something concrete every single session that you're in. I mean, Bob, you've been there many times. What would you say is some of those premier items that you get from this conference?
I agree. The level of quality of the workshops. I mean, they're and like you mentioned, the takeaways from every workshop. You've got something tangible that you can actually use to go on and apply in your own organization, that next week when you come back. So I really do appreciate some of those things that are pretty unique to the Sterling Conference.
It is, and we have such a great app also, and every presenter uploads their presentation. As a result of coming to the conference, you get this app and you get all the presentations. You may not be able to go to every presentation, but you will have access to those materials that you maybe didn't get to sit for, that tangible takeaway, as well as the PowerPoint. And that's pretty valuable as well. That's worth the money right there.
Got it. So let's see. What if I'm a new organization? This Sterling thing is all new to me. What does the conference have to help kind of introduce me to this whole Sterling model?
Well, we have a couple sessions that you can actually the day before the conference starts. The official conference starts on Wednesday, but on Tuesday we have a pre-conference workshop where you literally can come and learn about the Sterling, we can now call core values. And it is a set of criteria that very much, if you follow this structure and this criteria, you will have a very solid, sound business model. And there's things such as, oh gosh, help me remember the categories, Bob: leadership, results, customer satisfaction. I wish I had it in front of me, but you can go on the website and find that model.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say one of the workshops in that leadership track is the introduction to the core values and the criteria as well. So there's a couple opportunities to learn. And you'll get a book when you get there too that talks all about the Sterling and what the Sterling's about and what those core values are about.
I think, let's see here. Can you share a little bit about the venue where the conference is going to be held this year?
Goodness sake, that too is worth the money. I'm telling you, it's the Hyatt downtown, right on, what's that road called? International Drive.
iDrive.
It's a big facility. It's beautiful, and the conference center is amazing. And you're really around a lot. They have great things in the hotel. You don't have to leave the hotel if you want, but if you do for dinner and such, there's great restaurants. It's right in the heart of town, and it's a beautiful venue. And, we offer a good value for those hotel rooms as well. So I love the venue, and it's a great place to be. And Orlando, I mean, you're in sunny Orlando. What else?
There you go. What more can you ask for?
What else is better? I tell you what. Yeah. Something we didn't talk about, Bob, on the conference, two other things that really add some value to our conference is, number one, something called a storyboard competition, which is near and dear to your heart, and the team competition, team showcase competition. And the storyboard competition, we invite any company really to send what we call a storyboard, which talks about your continuous improvement journey and the results you got. And teams can compete with this, like the Science Fair project board, and display it at our expo. And that's another thing that you can learn is you can visit these teams, visit these storyboards, and see what individuals, not just leaders, but individuals from those organizations, how they use continuous improvement and how they get results at their organization. So that's a lot of fun to see these teams and these people. And the other one is we have a team showcase, a team competition, which is very exciting. On Thursday afternoon, we have teams from all across the state and possibly Georgia that are nominated to attend. If you have a team out there and you're interested, again, check out our website to find out about that team showcase. And literally, you can be a state champion as far as your team and your results. And you do have to submit like an application, like your PowerPoint presentation that you did to make your improvement. And then you do meet with judges on a particular day, but you get served a beautiful lunch. And then on the day of the team showcase, you get on stage and you tell your story. Some people do it in a kind of a skit fun format. You don't have to do it that way, but you'll present your story in front of an audience, and then you're judged. And then Friday night at a beautiful banquet we have that we give out all of our awards, the Team Showcase winner is presented. And Bob happens to be our Team Showcase manager. So we can say anything else about it if he wants.
Well, I was going to mention, full disclosure, that I am kind of partial to the Team Showcase event on account of that I have the honor of being the coordinator as well as the MC for that event. And like you said, I think it's great to have teams from all over the region who share their improvement projects live on stage, in front of the attendees of the conference. And, they talk about their problem statement, how they approached the problem, what kind of solutions they had, the results. And I think another key thing is they identify what their lessons learned through that process were. And
Yes.
all this while they're having some fun in front of the audience.
They have a great time.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt, like you said, that there's a little competition with the other teams. And like you said, the winners are announced at that Friday evening banquet and awards ceremony. So I think that's a fun thing going on during the conference. So you mentioned Friday night. So
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about what we can expect.
Well, Friday night, and again, everyone is invited Friday night, but there are certain organizations that have applied for various awards that the Sterling offers. And the big award being the Sterling Governor Sterling Award and the Georgia Oglethorpe Award. There's also some other awards. And they submit an application. We have what we call examiners, Sterling examiners, that go out and literally look at these companies, check to see how they're run. It's a pretty arduous process. So those winners have really earned it and are top-notch organizations. So that Friday night is it's a black tie evening gown type event. So it's really special. And we hand out the various awards that the Sterling gives out. And the whole company sometimes comes up on stage if they're winners. Right. And it's just so fantastic to see this. The Team Showcase, the winner is announced there as well. And they also have some subsequent awards that they can win. We have something called the South Florida Manufacturing. No, it's not called the South Florida Manufacturing anymore.
The Sterling Manufacturing Business Excellence Award.
Yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The Sterling Manufacturing Award. Another one of our colleagues, Phil Santonzi, he manages that, and that's where manufacturers from across the state. And we have some of the, how am I going to say this? We have a very large amount of manufacturers that people don't know about.
Surprising.
Some of the most in the whole country, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they have the opportunity to also go for various awards under the manufacturing umbrella. And those are handed out also. And I find that extremely interesting to find out all the manufacturing we have in the state of Florida and Georgia. So that's a great learning opportunity as well. And we have a beautiful banquet. We have entertainment. And it's just a beautiful evening. I always think it's very special.
Yeah, it's a great way to tie all of it together in a big celebration. So
yes.
Excellent. Well, Debra, I truly enjoyed this discussion we've had today. I want to thank you for sharing about the Sterling Leadership Conference. I'm really looking forward to it at the Hyatt Regency in Orlando. Folks out there, to learn more about the conference, as Debra said, simply go to thesterlingconference.com. Thank you very much, Debra. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you. I hope I didn't rattle too much, but I do get very excited about the conference. I've been going for a very long time, and it's an amazing week.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Everyone attend.
Absolutely.
Go register.
Go register. TheSterlingConference.com. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you all for joining us here at Sterling Visionary Voices. To hear this in other episodes, just go to sterlingvisionaryvoices.com. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Sterling Visionary Voices, Insights for Role Model Leadership from the Sterling Council. Discover more and connect with us at sterlingvisionaryvoices.com.